Hello everyone, it's day 46 of quarantine in the United Kingdom, and it's VE Day as well. So we thought we'd do something a little bit different, talk about what we've been up to, how we've been getting on. Now on the plus side, we are both still employed.
And we're both working full time as well.
Yeah, I've been able to do the network security analysis job I've been doing.
And I've been teaching remotely.
Yeah. The laugh of it for me was I had a new manager start. Well, it wasn't quite quarantine, but it was. We were doing a bit of a test case on quarantine, and then quarantine was fully enforced. But we do give him some stick now, laughing at him, saying, "Is this how you start every new job?" Because it's going to be likely we'll be out of the office until at least September or October.
Yeah, I've had a colleague start recently as well, actually, who I haven't met. Except just hearing her voice in some staff meetings. I know that both of our works are trying to kind of introduce more of a social aspect, kind of remotely. We both have a Friday kind of beer o'clock thing, and my team at work has also started a WhatsApp group, so we're trying to kind of keep in touch about off-topic things as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do daily meetings, 10 o'clock. And we've done the sort of beer o'clock thing on Friday, but it's kind of at the end of lunchtime. So I don't know. We did used to go to the pub at lunch at work. Used to have a pint. But it's weird, I've not actually felt like drinking at that point. So I don't know. I'd love to go to a pub to drink, but that's not going to happen for a while, sadly. So although we've still been working and that's going really well, health-wise, God, that's not gone well, is it, at all? So that started for me quite early on with needing a trip to the doctor. Not anything respiratory related, but yeah, I had to describe my symptoms over the phone because we couldn't have a face-to-face appointment. They seem to have got it right though. I was issued some medication that's sorting me out.
And then shortly after that, I ended up breaking a tooth. And so thankfully it actually wasn't painful. I seem to remember I was confused as to whether I had actually broken a tooth until I looked in the mirror and was like, okay, there's a chunk of my tooth missing. But because of the fact that I wasn't in pain, it wasn't swollen or bleeding, that meant that I was therefore not, obviously not an emergency kind of case. And so calling my dentist and also the kind of helpline, they also basically said that I need to deal with it myself. And so we had to go and and this was on the first day of bank holiday weekend, I should add. And so our local pharmacy was shut. So we had to go on a drive to go and get an emergency tooth repair kit. So that's been tiding me over for the past month, I think.
And you're lucky to get them because they're now rare as, they're rare.
Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah. And I had difficulties obtaining asthma inhaler. that dragged on for so long. It actually got to the point where my inhaler ran out and I was suffering an asthma attack and I ended up having to call for a paramedic. All things. It would have been so simple to resolve this. I had ample time. I think it was 7 weeks from when I ordered it, and it went on 3 weeks from when I desperately needed it. So that led to the eventual conclusion of me having an attack which I couldn't clear. So that was around the time of Ubuntu release. So if I sounded really wheezy in that video, that was kind of why. I was still struggling even after actually obtaining the inhaler that I needed. On the plus side though, we've been able to eat properly, getting food from the supermarkets. We've moved to shopping once a week instead of every few days, try and drag out as much as we can. It's not been too bad from when we've been in. We survived much of the big panic, didn't run out of toilet roll. Thankfully, we kind of actually stockpiled, not a huge stockpile, was there? We did start accumulating a few bits before the quarantine really started. I don't know why I randomly said the last trips to the supermarket before that quarantine. I said, maybe we should buy another pack of toilet roll. And It just was what I did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were fine on that.
Yeah. We haven't really been stockpiling stuff. It's more like we've been keeping like a backup of things, which we tend to do anyway, but it's just being a bit more careful with things like that. I think that there haven't been too many occasions where we've actually said we haven't been able to get something. We haven't run out of essentials, thankfully. We've been okay in that respect.
And haven't had to queue too much. We tend to go down to the supermarket early on in the day, and that seems to be fairly quiet for where we are. Later in the day, though, they seem to run out of bits. Not desperately run out of bits. The shelves have been emptied through the day. So we've both managed to keep amused doing things. It's about TV, haven't we? We've watched a bit of TV, films.
Yeah, we don't tend to watch too much TV apart from, I suppose, dinner time. But what we have been doing is we've been taking the time to watch a few films, because, I mean, what else can you do? So we actually recently watched the Dollars trilogy, which I hadn't seen before, but Quids had.
Show my age. Although it wasn't out before.
No.
At the time when I was around.
Yeah.
I wasn't around when it was made.
Yeah.
Not that old.
And also we've watched the latest season of Castlevania. So we actually watched the first season when it first came out 2 or 3 years ago. But then we let the second season kind of pass us by. Yeah. So when the third one came out, we've just, watched like seasons 1, 2 and 3. And we're not usually binge watchers, but we watched the last 4 episodes of season 3 just in one go. We were like, we just need to finish this now. So it's kind of like, what's the next season going to be? I know there's a few things that have kind of built up for us. So,
yeah. That was brutal, that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, though. We still got to watch Mr. Robot.
Yes.
That's a techie one we need to get back into.
Mr. Robot and Westworld have also come out.
Yeah, Westworld. Got to watch those. There seems to be not enough time. The other things I've been doing, I've doing like the videos, done 2 reviews, been keeping me busy lately. Programming no track. Yeah.
We've also been doing stuff in the garden, which, I mean, there's a kind of awkward situation there in that you can't go and buy anything. I mean, obviously limited specific DIY shops are opening again, but apart from that, we've just been using what we already had.
Yeah, the fun part's been trying to get rid of the stuff. Rubbish. So the council stopped garden waste collections and food waste collections and just doing like household waste, like putting everything together in one bin and taking that every week. They've closed the dump recycling centre. So yeah, it's just led to the point where I have to bag everything up, put all the garden waste into black bags to put it in with the household waste and try and disguise the fact we've done that. Never in my life have I had to do this. It's ridiculous. Yeah, fun. So one job I did want to do was redecorate the study. It's the first room I did in this house, and I've had some more ideas of how I want to change things. I want to put some shelves up, store some more items that I've been buying, classic games. But yeah, that project has had to be completely put on hold. But I'm trying to do little bits with what I have, but there's going to come to a point where I need to buy things, and I'm not going around the DIY stores at this point.
Quids and I haven't been able to get to a hairdresser, but Quids having short hair is rather more affected by this.
Yeah.
So, effectively, I've been cutting Quids' hair, and I've cut his
You've
hair.
done well.
I've cut his hair 3 times since the lockdown properly started, and so this has meant acquiring some new skills because I've never cut hair before, and Quids kind of unfortunately doesn't have the right grade for the clippers. As you can see, he has a short back and sides. He doesn't have the right grade for the top, and so yeah, it's kind of like clippers around the sides, and then I do a bit of a fade and then cut the top. just with scissors. So I've been doing. I haven't been doing a bad job, so I've been quite
you've
pleased
done well
with
there.
it.
You've done
I've been
well.
quite pleased with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not been one of these disaster haircuts walking
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Or the was it the one length haircuts
The one
you've seen your
length,
colleagues?
yeah. I've seen some new hairstyles with some of my colleagues. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another of these items that's going to be difficult to get hold of. Clippers, 2 repair kits, isn't it? And all these things we have to do ourselves now, and that we can't just pay a professional to do, isn't it? We have to survive on our own.
You learn new skills.
Yes.
Dentistry and hairdressing.
Yeah. Fun new skills. But I don't know if I'm doing your hair yet. I'm dreading that one. Yours is complicated. Women's hair is complicated.
Yeah, I have. I mean, my hair doesn't know what it's doing half the time, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You were very lucky with yours getting it cut just before quarantine.
Yeah, just before it all started.
Very lucky. I was not as lucky there. I was less lucky there. But we're wondering now, what is the future going to bring? Things are getting better in Europe, from what we see. UK, less so. Less so, though, isn't it? We know quarantine's being eased a bit in Wales. We're looking forward to going outside more than once a day to exercise.
Yeah, so
Happy
from
with that.
Monday, yeah.
I've been trying to do cycling. That's fun. The amount of people doing cycling and running now that I don't have to get around because they're new to cycling and I'm not. I'm trying to keep fit anyway. But yeah, we don't know when things are going to open. Something more than a supermarket would be good to go around. Pubs would be really good to go around.
Yeah, but they're going to be the latest.
Yeah.
Because you can't enforce social distancing in a pub.
I miss having a beer
Oh.
with a meal out.
We have takeaways. We have had 2 takeaways.
Domino's takeaway.
Yeah.
If that's the best we can get at the moment, then it makes a change. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say. Yeah, we don't know. We'll see. Wait and see.
Yeah.
And keep safe. We'll keep doing what we're doing at the moment. Well, thanks for watching.
And we'll see you all later.